Welcome to
We're
Instant
gonna
Discussion.
that's good enough.
Not even worth it anymore. Episode 30.
30? The
Probably.
dirty 30s, wow.
Probably 30. This is a very special episode of Instant Discussions.
We're almost now.
Very special episode.
Special? He didn't get it.
Yeah, so we'll be discussing the film Special from 2006.
Mm-hmm.
Tony's latest pick. Coming off the backs of In-Betweeners and Trailer Park Boys, the movie. This series. So this comedy from...
I don't think it's necessarily like a comedy.
this comedy released in the UK.
Is it under comedy?
I don't know if it's a comedy. It's a drama film. Okay, the first words in the Wikipedia article are drama film, so I'm guessing it's
Well, I
a
thought it
drama.
was more drama than that. It's
No,
funny, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not really a comedy at all. It's not very funny.
It's a
I was laughing a lot, though.
It's a dramedy.
It was fun to see a movie that has a less developed lighting system than we do. That was fun. I feel good about myself with my studio lights.
Oh.
I lit something very well. Not to say that ours are perfect, but it's just in comparison. So this is I'm going to guess a low budget film. I didn't look up the actual budget.
Sorry, I just watched another film. I just watched Return of the Rotten Tomatoes, or whatever it's called.
Return of the Killer
Tomatoes,
yeah. Okay.
I just watched that, and that made me laugh. Sorry.
So you're laughing.
Anyway,
that movie made you laugh just now.
because of what you said.
That it was a low budget film? Okay. I didn't look up the budget, but I'm guessing from the look of the film that it was a very low budget film.
Yeah.
If I scroll down and it says
Yeah.
100 million somewhere, I'm going to throw rocks. It doesn't actually say on here. I'm going to have to look this up somewhere else now. But
Special budget.
where did you first hear about this movie, Tony?
Yeah. How did you find out about this?
Well, it had recommended it to me, and when I first saw it, I thought it was a documentary. Like, when I just first looked at it...
The way it's got the prescription thing,
Yeah.
it sounds like it's a movie about prescription drugs,
Yeah.
I would guess.
And then we were talking, and he said, you'd really enjoy it, and so I watched it, and I just really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I liked the story, and I liked just imagining all this stuff.
It reminded me a lot of the story Flowers for Algernon, in the style...
I'm not...
What? Okay, in the style that it's first introducing it when he's reading his journal and the way he's keeping his journal. It's not really carried out the way that story is done. The story of Flowers for Algernon, it's a man with mental disabilities, a very simple-minded man.
Oh yeah.
And he takes this. He's taking this prescription medicine, trying out this medicine that increases his brain power. They had a Simpsons episode that was similar to this, where they take the crayon out of his brain. And, so it's the way it's written. It's a series of his journals. So they start out very crudely written and very simplistic, and then they get the writing gets better as it goes along, as it gets more intelligent. And there's the competing against the mouse and all these trial studies. But it kind of reminded me of that with this. But this man he's pretty much a normal, average guy.
Yeah.
But his issue
Really
is
normal.
his issue is that he doesn't have he doesn't follow through with his ideas. He has low self-confidence.
Oh, that's extremely low.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
what his issue is, and this pill is supposed to what's it called?
It's supposed to inhibit your self-doubt, right?
Yeah, inhibit self-doubt. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Which we see throughout the film. He's able to believe himself more.
Yeah.
The things that his mind tells him, where normally he would say, "No, that's not true." Like you could be great. You could do this great thing. No, I can't. Now anything that his mind tells him will happen. In the very beginning, he tells the story of him, his dreams, where he's flying because it's not that he can fly. It's just that there's no reason why he
can't I fly?
Why he couldn't be able to fly.
Yeah.
And that sets up the whole pace for the movie, because in real life he can't fly because he knows he can't fly, and his mind tells him he can't fly. But in his dreams, he can fly because there's nothing telling him he can't.
Mm-hmm.
So when this drug comes in that makes it so that it doesn't let him think that he can't do something, now he's able to do it, such as fly. Oh, this terrible girl crying her way out of a ticket. Lying. Knew she was lying.
I know. I love the scene after she's like some douchebag.
Trying to give me a cheek.
I want to kick this girl in the teeth.
So I mean, as a small film, this film domestic gross of $7,000.
Nice.
But I mean, you don't. I'm sure it didn't release in that many theaters. What's the? It only released in one theater. Well, yeah, it only released in one theater, so it's not like a.
Okay, I was gonna say like that sucks. What the hell?
Yeah, no. When you've got a per screen average of $3,000, that's not bad.
Per screen.
Because you're only in one screen, they do it by per screen average,
Yeah.
and that. So it opened with $3,000, and I mean, yeah.
Opening weekend.
Oh, then they had Josh from Josh and whatever. I'm sure you guys were excited about that, right?
Drake and Josh.
Yeah, is that what it's called?
Ah, I didn't know that was that guy.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I used to know Drake from Drake and Josh, but I'd never watched the show, so I didn't know which the Josh guy was, and I wouldn't really recognize him as much. It doesn't tell me how much it was made for though on this article. Neither does Box Office Mojo doesn't list it, and neither does Wikipedia. Maybe IMDb does, but I don't want to look that up. Let's just hope it was made for less than $7,000.
Yeah.
Do you think they could make this for less than $7,000?
Well, I know what's his name, Rappaport.
Yeah.
And also that Josh kid. They do a lot of indie stuff, and they will take like huge, like they're not getting paid what they could in other movies that they make.
It's funny, Michael Rappaport's name. I always hear it, and it sounds like a big weighty name. But I'm like, no, he's just that guy from that TV show that failed.
He's in a lot of movies though.
Yeah.
He was in Friday. Remember?
He's been in quite a few things, but his name just sounds like a more weighty Hollywood actor, like a theatrical actor. It sounds like
Rappaport.
Yeah. So,
Rappaport. I like his character in this. I like his.
Like should be a big
Michael Rappaport.
Like when you compare his character here compared to, there's a lot of movies where he's like tries to act black. Like it's a huge difference. Like.
Yeah. Oh, I think he was in the comic book villains movie. He's really good in that one too. I'll look it up to confirm. I'm gonna find this budget on this.
So one of the reasons I like.
Budget was $1 million.
Was it $1 million?
$1 million. So they only lost. rounding it to the.
Well, I don't think they intended on making.
Rounding it, it's $1 million they lost.
Yeah.
No, but I don't think they intended on making money at the theater.
It doesn't look like they intended that, but I hope they made some money somewhere. It's sad that like the independent film like this.
Mm-hmm.
If you compare this to something like Clerks, it's similar to that thing where I mean, it's a very low budget indie film, and Clerks. I mean, once you factor in the marketing after Miramax bought it, it gets higher. But originally, the film is for less than $100,000 or something. I don't know the exact budget, but indie films used to be so much less expensive to make. Now they're throwing more money at them. So it seems like you could have made this for a lot less than $1 million. But if you're going to spend $1 million on it, that's kind of the thing that Kevin Smith has talked about with the studios then throw more millions at it to advertise it and get it out there. Yeah. But you kind of have to do that if you want more people to see it. So you need to get it on more screens and get it out there to make more money back.
Gotta go balls out.
Yeah, it gets very difficult. So, only putting it on one screen and probably not advertising it as much, you're not going to get that return on it. What are your thoughts on this movie?
It was, I mean, I feel bad because they had to spend that $1 million on that invisible force shield,
Yeah, that of course is going to cost a lot.
Kills you. I don't know why they didn't just pantomime it.
Some people would pantomime it, but others like to go all the way because they could have done CGI for it.
I know.
They could have CGI'd an invisible force field and pay a bunch of animators to animate an invisible force field. Yeah. But I really like that they went with the practical effects and actually building it. some people might use plexiglass or something. But
Anyway, no, this film was really good. I liked it a lot. Post watching it, going back and thinking about it, I was just like, okay, yeah, it was kind of in his head, and it was just like he wasn't disbelieving himself. And then I'm trying to think, I'm like, but wait, speaking of the invisible shield scene, he teleports behind the guy.
Yeah.
And the guy is surprised and gets punched.
Yeah, there's a few moments like that. Because
the guy was standing there staring at him, so it wasn't that he just wasn't there lying on the ground and then happened to teleport at the moment that the guy approached him. No, the guy was standing there looking at him for a very long time.
And then he's still looking as he sit on the head. There.
Yeah.
See, for me, that's where a lot of the fun came in, because I imagine that he cut out a lot of what happened. Maybe he was freaking out. They did another runaround, and then he hid, and then popped out and popped him in the head.
Well, that's when you have the issue of an unreliable narrator, because he is essentially our narrator. And now there are moments where we don't see him, or we do get to see the view of other people where he doesn't have the powers.
It's not limited perspective.
Yeah, if they only showed it from his perspective, then he'd always have the powers, and we'd never see the doubt. We'd only hear it from other people saying, no, you didn't do that. We were all just stoned, and you didn't actually run through that wall. And we wouldn't see him hitting the wall at the police station. We would just see him run through the wall, and that's all we would see, except we would hear from other people, you didn't just do that. He said, yes, I did. You're just trying to cover it up. And that would be a very interesting way, because you wouldn't be able to know how much of it was real. Even with this way, so he does his levitations on his own, goes to the doctors, shows him, and it's like, to him, that's cool. Are you hurt? No, not at all. Why would I be hurt?
Yeah.
Then cut to, he's smacked on the floor.
He's
down there.
But even when he's
cool.
telling him that he doesn't have the powers, he thinks that he's
the way he's talking to him. At first, it can be.
I love those interactions. I just love those interactions, because they're just like from his point of view, it could be legitimately like they're just like, what the fuck are you? Oh my god,
we gotta talk about this. There have been some side. He keeps saying like, there's some side effects we didn't expect. You're having some special side effects. Yes, I know I'm having special side effects. I'm getting telepathy and levitation.
He's like, we're talking through our minds because they're listening.
They're listening.
I was like, this is great.
Brilliant that he's creating that.
Yeah.
I mean, you could even. I'm trying to think. You could view this in a way that that this actually is happening. And maybe they're showing the ways that other people are viewing it.
I love this.
I don't know. Some people can't.
I'm just laying on the ground like that. I'm sorry.
He looks like a baby, just like
he's so
rolling.
happy.
Like, I know. That's the thing. That's why I like it, because I used to be depressed, and I can put myself in his shoes. And for him to go from how he was, looking at himself like such a loser, to having all that confidence, I think that's what I enjoyed about it.
Oh, it's amazing. I'm sure he could accomplish a lot with all that confidence.
He did.
But it's dangerous. Now I only watched it the one time. I can't remember exactly, but I seemed to me that there was a transformation in the end when he stopped taking all the pills and he got it out of his system. That he was definitely bloodier and like he didn't see the damage.
He was more beaten up than he was.
Because he didn't know.
He had the big ones. All the big stuff was there. And it was still there, but then there was all the little small marks like all over his face. And it was swollen in a couple areas.
And a lot more dirt.
It's good makeup, by the way.
So he definitely didn't see himself how it actually was. I really like the doctor.
I recognize him. Yeah, I know. He looks so familiar. That guy looks so freaking familiar. I don't know what it is.
Let's see. What's his?
And then okay. So after this, when we get to the point where he takes him back and he's like denying everything, and you're like,
So
you're
just
like, oh shit! Like
just to set that up, the doctor's checking. He went back to the doctor and he's getting checked up on.
But it does add to it
after telling him about the special powers.
Well, when he's first getting checked up by the doctor and they're saying we're going to need to not talk about this stuff, and then everyone's trying to shut him up, and that adds to his paranoia. So like they're trying to shut this down, and he's like, I don't know who you are. I've never seen you at all. Now by him denying so much, rather than just saying no, we treated you, and these are some side effects. By not admitting to that, he feeds into the his paranoia. So this guy is from many movies.
Yeah, it looks very familiar.
What the fuck?
Man,
I don't
Pineapple
remember.
Express. He was
Like everything.
waiter, accountant in Pineapple Express.
He was in Lethal Weapon 4, and he was in Big Lebowski.
Dude, like in everything.
Yeah. Let's see here. I need to find like a solid role that he was in.
He was Ben in Men in Black 2.
Yeah.
Whoever that is. Lethal Weapon 4.
Marty and Big Lebowski.
State Department man in Lethal Weapon 4.
So he's a character actor.
Mr. Ziegler in True Crime. He's in a lot of films.
Yeah, he's a
Wow.
steadily working character actor, and he was really good in this, but good in that role. Interesting.
I like that picture of him.
And you know what, too?
So it's very psychotic.
When he's revealing his powers to his two friends,
Jack Keller.
I totally related to them, like, just fucking with him. I was like, if my friend did that, like, and I thought he was high, I would have just been laughing. To
You're
I
like,
would have pulled out my pocket
That's
phone.
amazing. You just
Yeah, oh my god, that's
God,
awesome!
how you do that? Teach me.
But that also fed to that. It fed him because now he got the positive reaction that, oh, they saw me do this, I did it. If they had told him right there, then that would have started his doubt even sooner.
Mm-hmm.
There was the interaction with the clerk at the
the convenience store
the
girl?
convenience store worker.
Maggie, I think?
Yeah. I love the interaction with her because at first he's just like, not paying attention to him, putting him off. He's falling for her. And I get that feeling of the attractive worker at any type of convenience store or any place that's such a public place with a lot of people coming through.
Yeah.
And when I first saw it, it's that feeling of, like almost every guy hitting on her in some way.
Yeah.
And it's just like that feeling of, not again.
Another one.
But to then have the reveal of her speech impediment,
Yeah.
her stutter, like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, so she's not just quiet because she's like doesn't want to talk to you. She's afraid for herself.
Yeah,
she has
she
lack
doesn't
of
want to get
self-confidence.
embarrassed. Yeah.
Just like him, they both have that lack of self-confidence there.
One thing I was wondering, too, is did that dude actually have a gun? And did he save her from the gun? I was trying to figure that out.
It was an
I could see it
interesting
both
reaction the way
ways.
that she talked because she didn't mention it, but then also she doesn't talk.
Yeah.
He very well could have. I think the way that he's reading people's mind, he's looking at them and judging them and saying what he might be thinking of, and a lot of them would carry on from one place to another because he's in his mind they're going from one conversation to another.
And it was crazy how it fit too, especially he's like, "Oh man, I want a piece of that peach."
Yeah,
I was like,
a lot of it works because you can say, okay, he's saying what he gets out of their looks.
Yeah.
He's judging it by how he would feel about that.
I love
And
how creepy he just is watching people.
Yeah.
Like the whole time.
But when most of the time people might be thinking that, but they're also thinking, "Who's this creep looking at me?"
Yeah.
So that guy who's looked shady and looking like he's gonna steal, rob them, he's picking up on that, and that's just a thing that he's been in parking enforcement for a long time. I'm sure he's seen enough people and judged them. He's probably gone through.
It might also be just that he's paying attention. No one else is paying attention. In a grocery, like in a liquor store, they're not looking at everyone else going like, "Oh, is he about to rob this place?" They're fucking just getting what they want to get.
Yeah.
Like
Focus on themselves.
Yeah.
So he's now paying attention to these things. So whether the other people that seem like they're probably not stealing, they've just got all this on their mind.
Yeah.
But he was doing really well with reading what people are thinking. And so detailed in the guy who sees his ex-girlfriend Montana, like that was one thing, and the shoplifter, like there's a few of them that are so spot on. They're like, oh, that's got to be what they're thinking.
Yeah.
That it adds to the thought of maybe he does have these powers.
Yeah.
But in the same way, that's just really good reading people. He just gets lucky with that.
It definitely made me question, like, wait, maybe he has certain powers and not others, and he just thinks he has some powers?
All right, he's got a few special powers, but not all the special powers. It's all or nothing, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely special. What?
Ooh, whoa.
Special this week.
Yeah, special this week. That's a good
at the grocery store.
There's little things in the movie.
And then the bad guy. What is he from?
The Suits.
He's from something
he's
too.
From a few things too. A lot of known actors. What was his name then?
Doctor. No, not Doctor.
No, not Doctor. Yeah, he's not one of the cops. He's got to be one of the higher people here. Oh, was it Jonas Exum? Yeah, it's him.
That's
Paul
him.
Blackthorne.
He does look familiar.
Yes, he was in Special. Oh, why is known for Special? That's a bad thing.
Oh,
to have.
Arrow. That's what I remember him from. He's the dad.
Christmas.
Okay. I actually did see a few episodes of Arrow, so that's probably why I remember him too. He was in Warehouse 13 on an episode. So he hasn't done too many big things.
Still on TV.
Yeah, if this low budget film is one of your known fors on IMDb, then
Yeah.
you probably haven't done too much. Because even Michael Rappaport isn't, known for Special.
Oh, there's the $1 million. They had to buy all that booze to put in the background.
It's all the product placement.
They needed to buy all of
I
it.
think a lot of it probably had to do
Oh.
with the stuntman who gets hit by the limo.
Yeah.
Or- that's probably like.
Yeah,
See,
maybe.
look, even Michael Rappaport it's the 6 Day, Hitch, Men of Honor, and Deep Blue Sea. They don't list the one he starred in.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of funny. I instantly noticed when he first went out into the town to look for crime.
Mhm.
It was Westwood,
Oh.
where I used to live in UCLA. But I was noticing first was the copy mat and the textbook
Oh, so you
plus
knew you could
resources,
see all that
and
stuff.
these little
that's kinda cool,
these
then.
small shops. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I know that area. And he's standing in front of the theater there, the one they have a bunch of the premieres at the Fox
Mhm.
Theater. So it's kind of I always like seeing a film that was shot around me.
Yeah.
I was just watching the new movie Jobs, and even though Steve Jobs went to Reed's College, and it's supposed to be Reed's College, which is in California, they went to UCLA and shot it on the campus there. And it's used as many college campuses because it's in LA. It looks like an East Coast college, a traditional thing. But it makes me feel at home, but it also makes it feel like
It's fun, it's
it
fun, though.
feels cheap also
Oh,
because
really?
you recognize it. Because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not like if you watch Back to the Future and it's the courthouse square and
Uh-huh.
they build that
The
whole
entire
city,
thing.
the city for it. Like those
I was just watching that today,
feel they feel so much bigger.
I was literally watching that before I came over here.
I wish I was.
That's like when I watched
Well,
the new Muppet movie.
Yeah,
And I was looking at the curbs and I was like, those are Whittier curbs. I was like,
Father of the Bride, the first one and the second one. They're driving through Uptown, and because
it's
you
out
know
of
it.
sequence.
Yeah, because they
Yeah.
drive on one side of the street and then the other side of the street.
It's like
terrible.
Nemo's, and then all of a sudden it's like the post office or whatever.
Yeah, and you're like, I know the area, so I know it, but
That's
anyone
the
else
opposite
watching
side of
this,
this
Yeah,
street.
yeah.
you wouldn't notice it. So it does kind of feel it's fun, but it also it's like, oh, I could have shot that because that's right, and
Yeah.
I just shoot around here. Whereas building an entire set.
The one that I always remember is Lethal Weapon because that's in Long Beach, like right by where I live.
I was watching Dexter once, and I saw one of those little bike.
That
things.
was filmed on my block.
Yeah,
one time.
so much of Dexter is filmed in Long Beach when it's supposed to be Miami. But
Yeah.
they when they put in the new bike racks in Long Beach, like the colorful bike shaped ones,
yeah.
and then they showed up on Dexter. I'm like, oh, okay, now you're not even trying here.
Yeah, not even hiding
Like
the bike rack.
it's a specific Long Beach thing.
Like, oh no, they have these in Miami.
I like the inclusion of the comic book
Anyway,
shop. They seem to be a good a good friend to a person with superpowers. Also in the movie Super, they have that, and talking to comic book shop guys. I think Kick-Ass had some of that too.
Talking about this scene that we're watching in the back.
running through the
And to
wall,
me
yeah.
too, when I first watched it, for his nose to bleed, at first I was like, was it his powers or maybe
There's I think it's the movie Chronicle. Can't wait for that one to get on here. But that's one where the more they use their powers, they start getting nosebleeds and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Because it's
Yeah.
using more of their brain and it's affecting it, so you get these nosebleeds. There's been a few movies like that, so that's one thing where you can obviously see. Oh,
Yeah.
he's getting a nosebleed because of his powers. And,
Yeah, that's what I thought it was so well written. It's
Wall.
just like I'm just constantly wondering. I'm like, okay, this is bullshit, obviously, and then I'm like, well, maybe he does have a tiny little bit of power here or there.
It is well written, and because you've got to write the story of what everyone else is seeing and what he's seeing, and they both have to make sense.
Yeah.
Because it has to justify to him why all these things are happening. Let's see. Looking at other things that these people have written, and some shorts, and stuff. Not seeing anything big.
I really love the ending to this film.
Yeah,
A lot.
yeah. I like that he gets the realization there,
Yeah.
but also he's fighting them. He keeps fighting them. Like, no, you guys are.
like all his dreams come true.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like in that moment, it's so beautiful. Like he's just all like, he realizes, like, no, I'm fighting evil here right now. And on top of it, I have confidence. And, yeah.
One of the guys who wrote this wrote Red Dawn. Remake.
Well, one of the guys wrote the remake that wrote the original.
But not that guy.
Ah!
He gets screenplay credit for the new Red Dawn, the 2012 one.
Oh, not the old one either.
No, not the old one. So they don't have. This is still a first movie. This was 6 years before that one.
I love his costume too.
Yeah,
the costume makes sense for what he needed to do. Although I don't know if white was the best choice for
really
running around.
Yeah,
it gets so dirty.
And then his little. I like how his insignia is a feather.
Well, his insignia is it's the insignia from the medication.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what the company doesn't want.
Yeah.
Like, no! And the news report saying, an unidentified symbol, keep it that way. Don't identify what it is. And so they're trying to stop him. He sees it as they're trying to stop my powers. And no, we want to market this drug. You're getting these bad side effects of insanity. And we don't want our name associated with that. This is Westwood. He's walking around. We're watching it in the background.
Is this Westwood?
Yeah. It's not the best
I like when he stops in the middle of the street.
Whoa, car. Whoa. But at the end, when they knock him down, he just rips off the tag, the logo. That's all we wanted. But the other suit guy, he leaves. He runs out of the car after they've hit him again. Seriously.
He's got more of a conscience.
Yeah. It's
oh, there's a UCLA banner in the back.
Yeah. So once you know, and you start seeing
these things. I felt bad too when he started listening to them at his apartment, and they're saying what a loser he is and how nobody would care if he dies. And then he references it at the end. It's you could tell that cut him pretty deep.
Yeah.
I felt bad for him at that point.
Yeah, because it's kind of true.
Yeah.
It won't make much of an impact if he does die.
He never really talks about his parents.
No. So they're either dead or don't care. Don't keep contact with them. Although this takes place over such a short period of time.
Yeah.
As well. That's just staring down people.
He could be masturbating right there.
Yeah.
He's definitely very creepy. And he turns himself into the police, but it's the. Yeah, I took down some people, or I've had some. I've dealt with shoplifting, armed robbery. You're an armed robber? No, I stopped them. Oh, and as soon as he realized who he was.
What do they call him, the tackler or something?
Maybe. He's just definitely tackling everyone.
Yeah, that's all he does.
Yeah.
He reads their mind. See, and at this point, now he's not. He's doing bad. He's not doing any good.
No, he's only hurting. The first one with the gun, that was a nice thing.
Yeah.
But then just tackling random people because looked like they were going to shoplift.
Yeah. I wish I could do that though. That looks kind of fun.
It does look kind of fun to tackle someone into a thing of.
Just stare at them and then just run after. And he saves that one lady's purse.
Well, when you stare at them like that, they're thinking, "There's no way you're gonna." Okay, you're gonna tackle me.
I don't know, that creepy stare at someone, that's what I'd think. I'd just be like...
what's gonna happen?
Don't. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm getting out of here. On second thought, I don't need to take that shit.
That's so old that the doctor has. It's such an old TV set.
Yeah, it's really old.
How does anyone have a TV set that old?
I don't know.
Maybe it's a period piece.
Well...
Maybe this takes place in the,
Were there cell phones?
70s. Did they use cell phones?
That's usually the big question, because, that's always...
Oh, that's true, I never thought about...
They had to have used cell phones in the movie.
Either cell phones...
No, but they were showing, he drives a hatchback Civic that is 90-something for sure.
Yeah. Maybe that's what they could afford. The other interesting thing with really low-budget films is you see a lot of brand names when they're in stores.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas then the mid-range budget films, you see no brand names because they have to cover them up because they can't get permission to use them. And then in the high-budget films, you see very obvious brand names because they are getting paid to put those in there. Because technically you're supposed to pay if you're getting any of that trademarked logos and imagery in there.
That's when they put down the soda. It's perfectly labeled towards you.
I think in Clerks and other things, they turn the cans. There's a lot of ones where like they turn them around so it's all the
The
back.
tomato movie again.
What?
Nothing.
Attack of the Killer.
The Killer Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Is that on Netflix?
Yeah.
Okay,
Return is. I don't know about the first one.
Well, so we have to wait until next week for your next pick to pick that one. But we know what you're gonna pick. We're fine. It's gonna be Return of the Killer Tomatoes. It made a lasting impression on you.
I actually liked it. Yeah.
I'm sure you'll probably pick that one. It's the
I don't know if I'll pick it,
Apu from on The Simpsons when he first meets his wife and they need to know things about it. What's your favorite book, movie, and food? The answer to all three is fried green tomatoes. That would be terrible.
That would be terrible.
That's not a good match there. Any other special notes? Special?
No, I just really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it all the way through. The only one thing I didn't like was I thought that her stutter was a little bit too much at certain points. Like,
yeah, but it was. There are people with.
I know, but I used to stutter as a child, and it didn't. Certain ones didn't seem realistic to me.
It's
just like 2 or 3 times.
It's tough to mimic a stutter in a movie because so many people have different versions of the stutter and different things.
It can vary pretty. Like they can.
No, I know it can vary,
badly.
but it seemed.
It's tough because you don't know. If it's someone who actually has a stutter and they were in the film, then you could do it in, you're believable.
Is she in anything else? Does she actually have a stutter?
Look at her up
Tony.
She's in
Tony.
The Stutter.
The Stutter?
Starring her and Adam Sandler.
What's her name in this? Maggie?
Gyllenhaal. Even this cop, I've seen from other things.
Yeah, everyone seems like a character. Oh, she was in The Hot Chick with Rob Schneider. Remember that?
Rob Schneider, yeah.
Rizzoli and Isles, she's apparently a recurring character on that show.
She's
been in a bunch of things.
Probably doesn't have a stutter, but
it's amazing though how many
I don't know. I think it's just
stars there are in this film.
Yeah, there are lots of recognizable people in this movie.
I've seen him.
I'd love to do these. That's the thing. Is just like I'd love to do this kind of film if I was like.
It's just a good film to do, like a good independent movie to think of.
And like just to, all right, now I want you to run into this wall.
I need to like spend more time looking at the reflections to see if you see camera crews and stuff in the background. A lot of times in some lower budget films, you can see the lights reflected on things like on glass. Shooting on glass is always very difficult. Anytime I shoot with glasses on, like you see the lights through there, and so a lot of times I'll take out the lenses and things.
Like your glasses,
but you'll see the lights reflected, so you know exactly which lights we're using in your room.
Yeah.
But that's even in bigger budget films you see that. But it's a good story concept for a low budget film, because generally like superhero movies you think of the bigger budget and you have to do a lot because of their powers to be able to see them and get to flight.
Like Avengers,
but he's got he's just got a little bit of levitation. The going through walls is a little camera trick thing you got to work out, but. There's not the mind reading's really that's nothing hard to do because you just add in the video later.
Yeah.
Dubbing's expensive.
And they definitely did a cheap costume.
Didn't spend
too much. Yeah, didn't spend too much on that. It's a small cast. Usually he's just interacting with one of the people, and there's a few crowd scenes. But
that's like Kevin Smith right there. Where they just run out the door.
When they're running out the door, and you see James on the bottom standing there. There we go. You just add the Ferris Bueller music into every.
Yes, in every chase.
Now we gotta pay for that.
No, we're doing our own version.
Still,
that was our cover.
No, it's gonna be parody.
No.
Cover you still have to pay for. Parody is fair use. Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
I thought he was eating with chopsticks.
Oh, that fateful chopstick.
What?
Oh.
That's when you know.
Right in the ear. Painful. He's a violent guy.
That's when I saw that kind of was like, oh shit, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I don't think he was expecting it either.
It was a shame. That was I missed the moment because I looked like down or something to do just to pick something up.
Yeah.
Like I must have been eating something and I went to go eat a chip or something and then I missed the moment.
I think I blinked or something too. Now we gotta watch this again.
Yeah, this movie is really good. I liked it a lot. What was your ratings?
I give it a 4. Okay. I think I gave it just because I really liked what. Going back to our regular thing, I'd give it a 4, but I did a Netflix 5, so I could get other indie films that are like this.
Netflix 5.
And then after, it gave me 2 other recommendations, which I'd already seen: Super, and then another superhero one. I forgot which one it was. But I think the other one looked like the one with Woody Harrelson. The Defender or something?
Oh, yeah. I've been meaning to watch that one just because it's another one of those
it's definitely
like
weird.
super movies.
What did you give it?
I give it a 4.
Yeah.
And I actually give it I think last week was the only exception to the rule. Because it was something where it's just like, no, I like this style of film. I've just seen it so many fucking times that I'm slightly bored. That's like the exception to the rule where I'll rate it my original rating. I'm not going to rate it how I feel about it today because I've just seen it so many fucking times that it can be poor. Like, I would have given Clue 4 today, but... Or whatever, I don't remember what
Yeah, it recommended it to me at a 4. I would probably give it a 3.5. Like, give the half stars.
For the lighting.
Yeah, partially for the lighting. I mean, it's... It only in, like, the beginning scenes, like, that kind of tone to it. It's a tough feel, but you get that in some scenes in Memento. You get that same kind of lighting. It's very heavy in primer.
I mean, when he's walking, I'll beat the fuck up at the end of the film thing?
Yeah. Well, that one and there's a few moments where it's like the contrast, the lighting is just a little off, and it feels so unnatural.
Oh, okay.
But I see that in a lot of films like that. So I think this was a good inventive film, and it was pretty solid on the storytelling.
Yeah.
So I don't feel too bad with giving it 4 stars on Netflix.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I give it 5. I'd say need to do a little more, I guess. But it's a fun one.
Yeah, so it was fun.
I like it. Good job.
Sweet.
The stab, the ear. Because it was future him that
I love
stabs
that
him.
this is the photo for, like, him taking it out is the photo of, like, when you push play.
That's the one
that's the image that's
really?
showing. Yeah, because it always picks some random middle, which I don't like, by the way. I wish Netflix didn't do that. But
which system are you watching? How are you watching it on?
I watch on my 360.
Okay, because mine doesn't really.
Sometimes on my PC.
Mine doesn't give me the image
before
I start.
It's insane.
It's while it's loaded.
Just plays.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you watch it on the 360 too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It always gives us some weird.
I watch it on a variety of devices, but that's one that I never run on. So it doesn't do the random image thing. That's nice.
I think it happens on my PC too, though. I watched this on my PC, and
I watch on Google TV, Apple TV, occasionally PS3, on my iPad. Nothing else.
Okay, this guy must be on drugs, and that's why he's so confused, like the other guy.
Well, I'm sure he's doing something.
Yeah.
He's doing some sort of drugs. I have a force field. I also have telepathy. So many great conversations.
Maybe he's on the same stuff.
Maybe he could be. That'd be exciting. Maybe there's some truth to it.
All right.
Maybe there's some truth to it. All right.
So no guest pick this week.
No, not this week. We'll fit it in there eventually. We'll get it all worked out. But I wanted to get in one of my picks. There are so many movies that I want to pick. There's so many great ones on Netflix. They keep adding more good ones.
Yeah.
There's a couple I want to pick that are, more big mainstream films that I'm sure we've all seen, but I just really want to talk about them. But those are going to have to wait another couple weeks till I can pick again, because they just added one onto Netflix that was free online to watch from the people who originally made it. Then they took it off online and they put it available on Amazon to buy on DVD. And I wanted a digital copy of it because I just wanted more people to see it because I kept telling people to see it and then nobody saw it. And now it popped up on Netflix Instant Watch. I'm so excited. And this is one that we don't have to be careful about spoilers because there's nothing to spoil in this movie.
Cars.
Not the original Cars.
Okay.
It actually is related to Cars.
Okay.
But because of the movie that just released in theaters this weekend, Jobs, it's released. There is another, the first.
Oh,
Steve Jobs
I
movie.
saw that. I saw that.
Oh, the
movie.
Pirates of Silicon Valley?
Not Pirates of Silicon Valley. That's a good one.
That one's a good
because
one.
I was in it. So this is one. It's I'm not gonna say it's a great movie, but it's an interesting thing that Funny or Die constantly does these trailers, these fake trailers for movies, and every so often you're looking at them, like ones with Gobstopper. I really love that one. Or like I wish that was a full length movie. Why do they only make the trailer?
Was Rubber one of them?
I think Rubber was a fake trailer. I don't know. I don't think it was Funny or Die that actually made the movie, but Rubber's an actual movie. There's some of those where you see it like fake trailer, like I want that to be a movie.
Like Machete.
Yeah. And
I'm so excited for the new one.
So they made a trailer for I, Steve, which was a Steve Jobs documentary, starring Justin Long, who played the Mac in the Mac PC commercials with John Hodgman as the PC. So it's kind of the joke of I am Apple, I'm a Mac, I'm Steve Jobs. So that's kind of the short joke with the trailer. But in addition to that, the movie Jobs with Ashton Kutcher was taking so long to come out that Funny or Die said, all right, we're going to make the full-length movie of this and release it way before Jobs actually comes out and call it the first Steve Jobs movie. So they did it.
I've never heard of this.
They made the whole movie, and now it's on Netflix. So it's called I, Steve. It came out this year.
With the Funny or Die people?
The Funny or Die people made it. It stars Justin Long as Steve Jobs and Jorge Garcia Hurley from Lost as Steve Wozniak.
I've never heard of this. It's so weird.
Yeah, it's the first Steve Jobs movie. So you can read the descriptions from 2013. It's from Funny or Die. It's got some funny moments in it, but don't expect a full comedy. Just treat this like the Steve Jobs documentary.
So Will Ferrell's not going to run out and with a big mustache.
I don't think he's in the movie, but I can't remember. I'm going to rewatch it.
Will Ferrell is Bill Gates in this one?
No. I know who's Bill Gates in this movie. It's got some interesting stuff, and it for the most part it does go with his story, but it does stray a little bit. So check it out. Check out I, Steve, and we'll discuss it in detail next week.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Wait, it says 2013.
Yeah.
That's not way
this year.
Before the Steve Jobs.
No, it came out the same year. It came out like in April.
Right before.
Like April Fool's Day or something.
But it didn't come out in theaters or anything, right?
No, it didn't release in theaters. They might have had a screening in Los Angeles or something for it, but it just
so funny.
Just released online. It's just Funny or Die made a full length movie with it. Yeah,
pretty sweet.
All right, we'll discuss that next week. Thank you all for watching. Share and subscribe, and all of that good stuff. Feel good. Yeah.
Huh?
Bored?
No, that's my goodbye.
It's not.
It's supposed to be from Fight Club, but I was about to spit out of my teeth, and I was.
All right, let's not do that.
Remember, he's like, "Well, I'm not gonna do it."
Good night.
Bye.